So I guess now we know, and now the NFL world knows, Micah is a nightmare. Mike Fisher reporting from the Star in Frisco, Dallas Cowboys headquarters, where the Cowboys come off a road win, evening their season record after week 2 at 1-1, 20-17, last-second victory, engineered by Dak Prescott, maybe overcoming a little goofiness in terms of clock management, and then getting the game-winning kick from Greg Zuerlein. But in the middle of this thing is the story of Micah Parsons, who on Monday, Tuesday of last week told us, listen, my abilities as a pass rusher, remember now, this is when Randy Gregory was in COVID, my abilities as a pass rusher have allowed me to get some practice snaps already at defensive end. I've earned them, is kind of what his perspective was. Then came the midweek injury to Tank Lawrence. The broken foot could be out 6 to 8 weeks. At which point Dan Quinn goes to the kid after that Wednesday practice and said, we're going to really need you to step up. We're not going to kind of goof around with the defensive end thing. You're going to play defensive end. Now, we didn't know that he was going to play it exclusively, and I'm not sure the Cowboys knew that either, although give Jalen Smith some credit, and Leighton Vander Esch as well. People continue to poke fun at those two guys, Jalen, friend of the show, in particular. Fact is, he played 50-plus snaps or whatever in that game, and against a very explosive and dynamic Chargers team at their building, the Cowboys gave up 17 points. Dallas did something very right on defense, and Leighton Vander Esch was a part of that. Jalen Smith was a part of that. Yes, Anthony Brown, friend of the show, was part of that, but certainly so was Micah Parsons. Gets 39 snaps, plays them all at defensive end. I have seen a couple people criticize the Cowboys. They should have played him more snaps. 40? 41? What's the right number? Remember that coach Mike McCarthy, and he said this repeatedly here, he thinks pass rushers need to stay fresh and that you rotate them over the course of the game and you make sure that they're good to go when it counts most in the fourth quarter of close games. So they had that going for him, and guess what? With 5 minutes left, what happens? Micah Parsons, fresh enough, and I don't know, you don't know, the critics can't possibly know. Had he played 5 more plays earlier, is he fresh enough on that play to pull down Justin Herbert for an 18-yard loss that changes the dynamic of the game entirely? His first career sack in his first game playing defensive end. Now, what do they do next? Mike McCarthy comes up with the Clay Matthews comp, and that's, of course, a guy he had in Green Bay. I know that everybody on Twitter, Micah Parsons is the greatest. He's got 1 sack in his career. He did it against an offensive lineman who's not very good. And I'm certainly not suggesting he's not going to do it again. I'm just saying, let's, as Bill Parcells used to say, let's put away the anointing oil, Let's let him do it a second time and a third time. But I think the comparisons to defensive players who can rush the passer, move around, drop, play middle linebacker, outside, Lawrence Taylor or somebody. If you want to dream about Micah Parsons as being somewhere between Clay Matthews and Lawrence Taylor, I think that's a fun dream. Meanwhile, the nightmare comes, and Micah said this himself, I'm trying to create mismatches with what I do. And he had a lot of fun doing that against the Chargers on Sunday. Now comes the Eagles on a Monday night. They got to find him now. He's that much of a factor. He's that much of a force. That guy right there, number 11, he's in the middle. He's middle linebacker. Oh, number 11, he's got the tight end over here. He's dropping. Watch it. He might blitz over here. Oh, wait a minute. He's lining up at defensive end again. The mismatch nightmare is both strategic for Coach Dan Quinn, who I thought did an outstanding job in that game in using the personnel that he had. And it's also physical and mental and emotional for Micah Parsons, who just became a very positive Cowboy and who just became, after week 2, a nightmare for the rest of the NFL. With the Cowboys, at the Star in Frisco, Fish out.